sun shining at Lord's, and once again a good crowd. And from the crowd point of view, they would have just hoped for a little more entertainment. And so when you look at this pitch, I think with the amount of rain around, it lacks the hardness it normally has, and it's a lot drier, so lacks the pace, and hence not getting those big first inning scores as Matthew Hayden was talking about. Now Ngidi.
Ngidi would have been disappointed with his performance in the first innings, but made a valuable contribution to those 3 important wickets yesterday. Much preferred bowling from the nursery, and he didn't enjoy his spells from the pavilion. 8 overs for 45 in the first innings, and picked up 3 for here.
Yeah, even from this end, it took a while to get that engine going. I mean, once he got Steve Smith out, that did wonders to his confidence. He followed up with another couple of wickets.
Also, Rob, I think as a team management, whether you coach or captain, whoever it may be, you kind of have to put a spin on things to try and create some positives. Here are the wickets that he picked up. That's huge. You realise how big a player Steve Smith is for Australia, and he used the angle really well. Big score in the first innings. Webster, he got him out as well, and then with a variation, full delivery, knocking over Cummins, you can be very dangerous. Some important contributions from him. But yeah, just talking about how you have to be a spin doctor, you kind of always got to search for the positives. If it's that difficult to get number 10 and 11 out, or 9 and 11 out, then as a team you've got to believe that the surface has flattened out. And you got to go into the dressing room saying, okay, not ideal, we would have liked to wrap it up, but if they can stick around and look comfortable against the likes of someone like Fechisa Rabada and Marco Jansen, oh, it drops short again. Such the trend in this game. Then you've got to have the belief that when you get your chance to bat, that you can make it count, and that maybe things are at the best that they're going to be. So yes, 250, 260, 270, whatever they're going to have to chase is a massive total to have to chase in the 4th innings of a test match. But you look for those small positives where you can spin it in your favour, and I think that might be the talk, that if these guys can stick around as comfortably as they have, maybe it's a surface where we can get the runs.
Yes, and just a reminder to our viewers, it is day 3. Day 2, day 3 in England are the best days to bat. Tricky on day 1, always lateral movement.
And that's why, for me, it's a tactical game now. How South Africa approach that chase, whatever they're chasing. They need someone to be disruptive at the top. They can't just play the waiting game and wait for the loose ball. Australia will be all over. You've got to take it forward. The Markrams, the Rickletons, they're the ones who have to come out and come with a game plan. Always found with South Africa in conditions like this in years gone by, an A.B. de Villiers would be the danger man, because he can be disruptive. Now Markram can do it, Rickleton can do it, and they've got to think in that fashion.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Ravi Shastri. I think that's an excellent point. When you see this batting card, you think of those that are going to do damage, who are going to be destructive, not going to play the patient game that we've seen so far. That got them nowhere in the first innings. Only Themba Bavuma batting at 4 that upped his tempo a little bit early up in day 2 and showed the signs and the benefits of that. Then you've got Stubbs and Bedingham. These guys, and the combination up top, 1, 2, 3 of Marker and Rickleton, they're superb stroke players. They show that kind of intent, Polly. That's going to be dangerous for Australia.
It's 183 for 9.
I think the key to those two individuals is that they don't have to change their game plan. Their natural game plan is to score at a rapid rate, and that's the nice thing about it. Didn't get a start mark from the first innings. Rickleton showed glimpses of what he's capable of.
So Mitchell Stark now has played over 100 balls, and not many number 9s do that too often. He's done it 5 times. It's only Jason Gillespie and Chaminda Vas who've done it 6 times. Gillespie getting a double 100 as well.
Yeah, it's been a superb effort of concentration and experience as well. Great with the ball, and now with the bat, just really hammering home the advantage here. What little there is, he's managing to capture it all right here in this partnership.
It also tells you the way he's thinking. He would have gone in there and then suddenly said, this pitch is flattened out a bit. When the sun comes out, it's not doing much, so we'll need some runs on the board. Hazelwood as well. He's played 30 balls. So they'll be thinking that it's not going to be that easy. So let's try and dig deep, get as many as you can, so that you have some runs on the board to bowl at.
I think also Nathan Lyon will be watching the spell from Maharaj closely to see if he's going to have anything to work with and what part he can play as the game goes on. He likes to bowl from the nursery end, but still we'll get a feel.
He's got that through. Going down the slope. Another couple of runs. So the scoreboard ticking along at 260 now. Ahead Australia.
Yeah, the longer also that they bat, Polly, it will bring Nathan Lyon into play as well. It's not just going to be all 3 seamers operating. Saw that in the first few minutes of this game. Just all fast bowlers. When was Maharaj going to come into play?
This field, he's got to get the field up, because they're quite happy here, both these players, to just knock him around and milk him. They're not going to take those chances you expect against a spinner. If the field is back, you know, without too many risks, getting the 1s and 2s. 186 for 9.
How does it feel to step into Kizik hands-free shoes? It's like life on easy mode.
It's like singing in a pure bliss.
It feels like game-winning magic. Joy, wonder, delight. What will you feel? Kizik, the ultimate hands-free shoes.
Temperatures just below 30 degrees. That's how things stand at the moment. 260 ahead. Australia. Now Markram coming up really ahead at second slip.
Yeah, it's also going to have an assessment about what the right lengths have been. It's been a very simple game plan. You kind of just have to hit the top of off stump, and what's the length that's been required in this match so far. Here's some examples of exactly whether it's over the wicket to the right-handers or round the wicket to the lefties. It's just been very similar. And you need to know what that length is, and that's what Australia will be focusing on. 6.8 metres. That's where they'll be targeting when they get their next chance to bowl, because you want the ball to end up in those areas. You want it to be top of off. That makes it difficult to just caress down the ground, difficult to score off, but also it gives you the ability to hit the stumps and pick up wickets. And in this partnership, have a look at how many deliveries have gone on to hit the top of the stumps or anywhere near the stumps. And therein lies the issue. You sometimes have to have that same ability to be brave enough when it comes to the tail to bowl the similar kind of deliveries that you bowl to the guys in the top order. And they haven't maybe attacked the stumps, particularly when these guys first come to the crease. That's when they vulnerable, and they've shown the tendency also to just give themselves a little bit of room, almost expose the stumps. I just think the lengths in this partnership have been a little bit off, and maybe that's why it's been allowed them to get to 38.
Sometimes as bowling coaches as well as when you're doing this analysis, it's best to keep it simple. Just tell the bowlers, bring bold and leg before into play. Now you sort out the length. And more often than not, that works.
I think, Robert, it's different for each bowler. I mean, Marco Jansen, what he's 2 meters or whatever, and you might have someone like a Björn Mulder who might only be 1 meter 70 or 80, whatever it may be. You don't land it in the same place to be able to hit the stumps, and it's different from Perth to Wanderers to Lords. That's the ability as a bowler. How do you get and work out what the length is? Oh, that's a good change-up. He loves the slow ball in the one-day arena, and he thought he'd go to that option.
What I looked at when I saw that package, Ravi and Polly, is that the movement and the inconsistency of that movement has been movement down. Sometimes as the test matches wear on, you'll see that length and the movement and the inconsistent movement will actually go up. So that's challenging the LBWs and also the bowls. You think of Smith's dismissal yesterday, hitting that kind of back of a length, but the movement that was more inconsistent tended to stay at the stump line.
Yeah, that's why the game plan has been so easy for these bowlers. I mean, they are wonderful athletes and brilliant at their skills, but they haven't had to overthink it in this match. It's kind of just been run, hit that 6.8 meters. Don't try too many bounces. That's a feather bed. It just sits up. Don't go for the Yorkers. Just in that area, and it's been effective enough. And it's also just to stress the point, it's always the bowlers that do the job, isn't it? Australia only post 212. Then they bowl South Africa out for 130. Then the batters, what, 73 for 7? Who has to step up again? Bowlers have to step up with a partnership at the back end.
There you go. Hados.
It's always the bowlers. And if it gets to South Africa winning the match, invariably, it'll be 8 down or something like that. And they'll say, come on, bowlers, get us those last 20 runs to win us this match. Always the bowlers.
They don't need any invitation to pump themselves up, do they?
As they say in Hindi, Kaya.
But to be fair, that's been the case in this game. There's no doubt about that. 186 for 9.
Higher interest rates can force you to lower your expectation of a home. That's why our lender-paid 2-1 buy-down program, with which you can enjoy reduced rates for the first 2 years. We're Star Mortgage.
Since 1983, Nissan has been assembling award-winning vehicles for you, right here in America. And now we've lowered MSRP on our best-selling Rogue and Pathfinder.
Get 0% APR for 60 months on Rogue or Pathfinder.
It's 186 for 9. People still coming in. Familiar face. Australian Pat Cash. And some new balls coming out.
Yeah, they started the process, didn't they? A couple of overs back, maybe 10, 20 overs back, they were starting to say, has this ball gone out of shape? And it's been an issue with the Duke balls, I've been told, in the county circuit as well. But the key to it is when you change these, Ravi, often what you do is you get a ball that's just a little bit newer than the one you're using, and often just a little bit harder. So this could have an impact. I mean, if you look at that, this is like chalk and cheese. I think the South Africans will be quite excited about getting a different ball in their hands and seeing if the harder ball can have an impact on maybe a ball nipping just a touch or staying down or getting through a touch quicker. That's why Mitchell Stark's paying so much attention. He knows what a change of ball. He's like a hawk having a look there.
Like a seagull on a hot chip. You bowlers, fair income. Just get on with it, will you?
this is the batting approach that comes out. Now, when I see how much care goes into the maintenance of a cricket bat that you guys put in, and you treat it like an absolute thing. And then when we've got one bit of tools to work with, it's a cricket ball. And when we pay a bit of attention to it, you go, get on with it, come on. It's our only weapon, you know.
Crowd eagerly anticipating play, and we have to stop here for you blokes.
Wait for you guys to bring your new gloves out, or maybe a change of bat.
Better getting mid-on up. You can see immediately he looks for the big shot. That's what you want if you're Maharaj. You want him to go for that big one where there's an opportunity rather than spreading the field back.
Looked like the middle of the queue end, that one. I think he even suggested that he had played a bit of snooker there. Did Hazelwood?
South Africa needed some energy in the field, someone to lift up the spirits. So important that role for fielders close in. Wicketkeeper has to play his part. Because it's a question of that one wicket. It's 186 for 9. Dismissed today, leg before to Rabada, who sets on 9 wickets for the game. But these two batsmen, Stark, Hazelwood, frustrating South Africa.
As we had that little break in play for the change of delivery so that Polly could dry his eyes, I was thinking to myself some of the strangest incidences of when we had breaks of play, and I'm talking about beehives flying across the ground and hitting the deck as the hive moved over the ground. But the strangest of all was actually here in 2005, and it involved another fast bowler, Glenn McGrath, who had lined up with his sponsor, his shoe sponsor, when he took his 500th wicket. As he took the 500th wicket, the off-field came on with a fresh set of boots, 500 printed on the sole in gold embroidery, and he took the time, and everyone else's time for that matter, crowd included, to change into those boots. I mean, that's how big your heads can get, you bowlers.
You guys get upset if Cummins gets 5 wickets the other day and he grabs the ball and salutes the crowd. That's big head for you guys. I'll tell you one of my pet peeves about the batter and the bowler change. Is one of these guys, you'll get 100, right? Someone will get 100 and it's the game end, and as he's walking off, you get 10 or 11 of the team, they charge over to shake his hand. You're like, well done, good 100, well played, buddy. When guys get 5 wickets haul, I don't see anyone coming from the opposition down to give him a half five about his 5 wicket haul. No one runs anywhere.
I love that KP from the background. He reckons it's harder to get 100.
Nicely played.
Delays in play. I'm trying to think of some of them all. You're talking about the bees flying across. Not the hives, but the swarms. We had a fox. We had a fox in a county game that made its way onto the ground, and
but I think some of the best stoppages, when streakers ran across, no one minded that. I mean, cops chasing them, but
we had Andrew Simons chasing one at one stage.
Oh yeah, didn't that happen fast for the poor bloke? He went down like a sack of potatoes.
you see hardly anything's happening. There's no movement whatsoever off the scene or in the air at the moment.
Rob, we've got a stat for you after KP's comment in the background. 250 hundreds on this ground, only 195 first, so we know which is more difficult.
You blokes have got a lift. That's the only explanation I have. And the only thing that's actually ticking along here is the scoreboard and the lead for Australia now, 261.
Going down, 187 for 9.
Since 1983, Nissan has been assembling award-winning vehicles for you, right here in America. And we're committed to keeping our lineup affordable and free from new tariffs. That's why we've lowered MSRP on our best-selling Rogue and Pathfinder. So you can get the car you want, at the price you want, knowing Nissan is here for you.
Now get 0% APR financing for 60 months on the 2025 Nissan Rogue or Pathfinder.
187 for 9. Hayden and Pollock have just gone off mic to continue their argument about batting versus bowling. That could drag on for a while, as this innings is. 14 wickets first day, 14 wickets second day. Just the one so far today. Aussies being Aussies. You're going to have to beat them. They won't beat themselves. Best bit about this morning's session was that Kevin Peterson went down about an hour and a half ago to go and be ready for a flash interview, and he's been down there since. How are things on the other side of the ground, KP?
It's warm in the sun. Forgot my glasses. There was no chair. But it's actually quite nice. I got to speak to a couple of the players on the way around. As is tradition, me walking around the ground here got booed. That's fun. Aussies.
Broad was giving it the big one. You'd had enough. Spoke to the producer saying, right, send Broad down here. He was thrilled.
Good to see you take one for the team, KP.
Yep, he's thrilled.
There he is.
Right, what can South Africa do? Maybe a bit of off-spin with 2 left-handers in, maybe a bit of Markram.
Yeah, exactly right. I think Markram should probably take over from Ngidi at this end, 2 left-handers. He got rid of Smith. He's good enough to get rid of one of these 2.
Slog sweep. Man's out there. It's Jansen. It's a long way down for him. and I think he does well.
Yeah, I think it's a brilliant bit of fielding from Marco Jansen. South Africa's fielding again into day 3, and it's been nothing short of magnificent. Yes, he dropped a catch last night, but 190 for 9. He did drop a catch last night, but apart from that, South Africa have been magnificent.
KP. South Africa would have come in, I'd assume, thinking they'd bowl them out under 220, 230 at best. But now it's gone to a stage where it's 265 that they need to chase if they lose a wicket now. But do you think they'll also have it in their mind that it's been very easy for batting, probably the easiest so far in this test match? That will encourage them a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. It obviously becomes a mind game then, a run chase, batting last, but it is day 3. So all the stats about batting last at Lords are usually